Enterprise risk began being practiced in really the early 2000s after the tech bubble, when mostly financial institutions wanted to have more predictability around asset classes.
So I think in the past, risk management was really based on looking at individual pieces of a risk problem, trying to understand a part of the strategy which you were particularly worried about, and then kind of extrapolating that back to the level of the whole organization. And what we're seeing now is that as companies get more complex, actually that can't work. The sort of emergent properties that you get from businesses now means that you have to look holistically first.
Over the last decade, enterprise risk management really has evolved into a framework of techniques that look at strategic, operational, credit, market, liquidity risks rather than isolated risk techniques in silos.
Risk can propagate extremely quickly, and they can come from multiple directions all at the same time. So the risks that affect one business actually now impact on other businesses in other industries, possibly even in other countries.
C-level people today talk a lot about business model change. Business model used to be something you could rely on year after year after year. But today, a business environment changed so quickly that our business model that we've relied on for years could be changing overnight.
I think one of the main things that makes business more complex now is the sheer connectivity between all the supply chain factors, people in a business, the customer base, the information around them. The whole world is just so connected now. And what we're trying to do is to make sure you understand the sensitivities your organization has, so that when those external factors come to pass, you're ready for it and you can see it early. So the key thing is to try and understand ahead of time where those emerging risks are coming from so that it doesn't become an actual risk event. So before the next firm moves in, it'd be interesting to know why this one moved out. Here we've got the HR team. Maybe they knew something around the staff, skills, shortages of those. Why was turnover getting a bit high? Here we've got the finance team. Maybe they could see something. What did they know? Something around the extra few days every month it was taking to get the cash in the business. Some kind of change of mix in the asset base. And the sales team, what did they know? Something about the products perhaps. Something that wasn't quite the way it should be. Whatever they all knew, it wasn't reaching the boardroom. And this is the boardroom where all the information comes together. And yet critically, they missed the patterns outside this room, which ultimately brought down the business. So you might think that making sense of all this complexity in a business is itself very complex, but actually it's not. People have that in their head already, and they just need to describe that in a logical, structured way, and then align their risk management systems to capture that knowledge that they have. So it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds.